Welcome back to our channel. Today is Park Hopper Day. We're starting in Magic Kingdom and we're ending in EPCOT, finishing out our completer cookie challenge.
We're gonna go fart.
We're gonna go to fart.
Festival of the Arts. Good morning, everybody. Okay, it is wicked cold. What the heck? What? We started with rain and cold and horrible, and then it got sunny and warm, and we went to the water park and got sunburned, and now we're back to freezing our cahooties off.
It's sunny, but it's 48 degrees.
Oh my goodness. I have my down coat and the gloves on again. Okay, we just got through the turnstiles, and there's a very important subject I want to talk about. Clumping. Clumping is a big problem at Disney. People tend to go to the right. That's a natural tendency because we drive on the right-hand side. People tend to go on the right-hand side of the lines. And an area like the turnstiles where there's lots of lines, people clump and seem to always get in the longest line. But there is always a shorter line. Go to the outer edges. Go to the sides. There is always a shorter line. There was a line that was about 150 people long, and I got in a line with about 4 people. It's like, Don't clump. It's just not pretty. Don't clump. Just don't do it. Florida. California, where it's warm.
Diane's just saying it's not very busy, but it's because it's 48 degrees.
They forgot to pay the electric bill. They turned off the heat in Florida.
It is a beautiful, crisp morning. We are at Gaston's Tavern getting the famous cinnamon roll. It's early in the morning. There was a long line. Everybody's here. They really only serve this and a cake and drinks. So we got ourselves some coffee and cinnamon roll for breakfast.
But here's the most important part. Right there. The extra frosting. Always order it with the extra frosting.
Because that's a lot of...
Look at the size of this Mamba Bamba.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of bread. So when you get into the center, you're going to want a little bit of that extra frosting to get you through.
This is just over $6, almost $7, and it's huge.
And we're sharing it. You could feed a whole family.
You could feed a family of 16,
easily.
I think. It's huge.
But here's what I think is funny, is their coffee comes all the way from Disneyland.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah, usually they have Disney parks so that they could use them at both, but this
is the Disneyland Resort. So,
that's funny.
Hey, this is coffee airmail.
All right, the back side of the castle here is so beautiful as well. Look at those arching windows. They're just reaching to the sky with all that gold. Now behind all those windows is Cinderella's Table Restaurant. It is a grand, large-scale, reservation-only restaurant with Cinderella walking by. Okay, reservations are difficult to get, and if you have a small child, it is worth doing once so that you can see the space and enjoy Cinderella coming to your table. But it is expensive, and the food is not the best. I mean, it's certainly not bad, but it's not the best. But it's a one-time experience, not an every-time experience. The castle walkthrough is so beautiful. Look at all these incredible mosaics. They're so vibrant. Such beautiful work. look down Main Street, you see all the American flags at the tops of all the buildings. And they're fascinating because not a single one of them, except for the center pole down at the end, has 50 stars. And the reason for that is because then they don't have to take them down at night or keep them lit or such. Only the main flag has the flag ceremony each morning where they raise and at night lower. Tom Sawyer's Island is just across this waterway, and look at that at the dock. Huck and Tom loves Becky, and the fence is being whitewashed. Well, they gave up on it, didn't they? So that's kind of fun. Walt was very patriotic, loved our country, and so he's got these Hall of Presidents and that great animatronic ride, or that great animatronic theater show. And then out here in Liberty Square, there are these flagpoles with the state flags of the 13 colonies. And in that tree are 13 lanterns, as well, representing the original colonies. Really neat details that are scattered throughout the park like that. They're all waving. Okay, this has to be more unique than a turkey leg. This is a slab of bacon that has been candied and skewered on a stick here. That's just too wild.
Everything's better with bacon.
Everything's better with bacon. Take a little nibble off of it. Is that everything you hoped it would be? That is a hunk of candied bacon, she said. We are on the People Mover again. Want to see how much construction's happened in a week on Tron. No, we just like it. We don't have this in California anymore, so when you get an opportunity to ride it, you want to.
And now, Tomorrowland Transit Authority proudly presents Progress City, Walt Disney's dream for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Progress City was the inspiration for EPCOT, and many of its forward-thinking ideas have been realized throughout Walt Disney World.
Hey, there's Tron.
Driving the fast lane without worrying about getting a speeding ticket.
Can't wait till this ride opens.
It's about a third done now.
It's great to see all the tractors, the activity, working on this. That's going to be the walkway entrance, and it spans over the railroad, which actually is going to be a tunnel through here as well. A large portion of the ride is outside.
We're now entering one of the real wonders of our world, Space Mountain.
So most of the ride is outdoor under these canopies, but then it goes up into that dark hole up there inside the building.
Done. It's covered over.
Oh. That pile of dirt with the greenish tubes is the tunnel where the train goes through. So clearly the tunnel is done, which means they're going to start putting the track in. Goodbye for now. We're heading to Epcot. We get to ride the 50th Gold. Yay! Riding in the monorail is so much fun. We love the bird's eye view that you get, and particularly in Epcot, it really loops in and around the entrance and Future World, and it's really cool. But you also get this great bird's eye view of all the construction going on, where they're modernizing whole areas of the park behind the Epcot ball there, and they're putting in this interactive water feature, Moana. They've changed up all these stores and buildings, and the fountain is gone, and now it's going to be all of this interactive park area. We are just getting off the monorail Gold. That was cool to be on the 50th celebration.
It was the wrap, yeah.
That's the one I wanted to go on, so that was neat. We are park hopping today. We did it the other day, so we spent a full day in each park, and frankly, I think park hopping in general is all that needed because there's so much to do in a park and it costs more to do the hopping. But we happen to have a ticket, a comp ticket that we're using today. And so that's exciting for that.
Not only does it cost more, but it also costs you time.
Yeah.
And at Disney World, time is money.
Yeah.
So, like, the amount of time to transfer from one park to the other sometimes can cut like a couple hours out of your day, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to waste that much time.
No. So if you do want to park hop, here's what I was just realizing earlier as I was thinking through what to share, is that there are two different park hopping setups that are really the best. If you're going between Magic Kingdom and EPCOT, you've got a quick transfer on the monorail, much easier. Or if you're going Hollywood Studios to EPCOT, because you have the tram that goes between them. Otherwise, any other type of transfer, you have to deal with the bus system, which is fantastic, but that even takes up more time. And so that's a difficult thing. Additionally, on the transferring, at least right now, as of February 2022, this may not always be in the case, but as long as the reservation system is in place, you must check in at your first park and
where your
reservation was set up, and then you are not allowed to transfer to your new park until after 2 p.m. That doesn't mean you have to stay in your first park till 2, but you're not allowed in your second park till after 2. So just something to keep in mind. But otherwise, we chose this option with this park hopper because today Epcot, right behind us there, has extended hours, and we're going to finish off our Festival of the Arts. That was really what we wanted to come for, and so we're going to be here till very late unless it's too cold. All right, let's move on into Epcot. One of the little perks they have for the Disney Vacation Club members is this members lounge where you can just hang out and get some soda, some water, some snacks, some charging for your devices. It's in the building that has that cool caged glass roof right near the Journey to Imagination ride with Figment. If you want to just take a little bit of time and just rest your feet and charge some devices, this is a great place. But of course you have to be with a DVC member in order to come into here. Because the characters can't actually come up and you go hug them and get their autographs. At Epcot, they've got these lawns where different characters are out, and Pooh Bear is one of the fun ones because he'll just interact with the crowd and he'll play peekaboo behind the tree. Just a fun way. The kids just love standing here, as you can see. Here is our passport with our completed items. we've completed them all. We just need to go claim our cookie. They just call it a culinary treat, but I already know that it is a sugar cookie made to look like a painter's palette. So this is a vanilla donut with various forms of strawberry puree and frozen, and this is, or I don't know how they made that into a powder, but this is a strawberry ice and then some sort of strawberry twill thing. I don't know how they made that either. It's amazing.
It looks like Red Hots on it. On the donut?
Oh, maybe it
Red
is.
Hots?
I don't think it is.
It looks like a little mini donut.
No,
Oh,
they're
it's
little.
just
It's just a little bit
frosting.
of frosting. All right, so we're gonna try this.
strawberry, not sorbet, but I don't even know what to think about this. Obviously, that's good. That's actually salty.
Okay, so the donut.
As hard as a stone. That's unfortunate.
There is absolutely nothing on that donut or on that plate that is worth putting in your mouth except for the sliced fresh strawberries. Because God made strawberries perfectly wonderful, but this chef ruined them in every other purpose. And that donut, that's like beef jerky. It was so hard, so dry, clearly not fresh. And if they did cook it within the last week, I would be surprised, because honestly, box donuts shipped to your grocery store from across the country are softer than this.
That's so sad.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. This was just,
That's epic fail. Like,
yeah,
everything else that we've had at the food festival has
been wonderful.
Yeah. So
But this,
how tragic.
Tragic. And I don't know if I should even just go take it back and say, really? So I don't know. But it is what it is. There's some wins, some fails. Sometimes it's about just preferences. I mean, if you don't like lobster, don't eat lobster.
No, but a donut should not chip a tooth.
Yeah, exactly. This has nothing to do with preference. This was just poorly made. Poorly made. Okay, whatever. We don't need to take up any more time on this video with this. I clearly gave the donut a really harsh review, and I thought, well, it's not fair to put this review out online and not give them a chance to make it right. And I didn't go complaining. I just went back and said, I want you to make some adjustments. I've loved everything I've eaten at the festival. I know you can do better. I know you want to do better. And so here's what's wrong with it. They apologized and they said, yes, they've been having some consistency problems on cooking the donuts, making sure they're not overcooked. And so they almost begged me to take a new one, especially when they saw that I was holding the camera and that I was doing a review on a channel. So the lady was gracious. She put together a new plate. The donut now is not inedible. It's not my preference. It is still a bit too heavy, too chewy for what I think a donut should be. But the flavor on the plate and the texture of the donut is at least edible. And I will give them a much better review in that regard. So I said I had already spent too much time in the video about this donut. Now we're done talking on the video about the donut. Let's move on and get our completer cookie. Well, here is what you get for the completer. You get this cookie. It's a thick sugar cookie with this great frosting on top, decorated, looks like a painter's palette. And I forgot, you also get this glass colorful cuisine, wonderful walk of colorful cuisine, and it is a berry smoothie. The cookie we're gonna save, But obviously we can't save the smoothies, so let me give that a try. Oh, that's very good. Very good. It's just a mixed blackberry, blueberry, raspberry sort of flavor. It's nice. Okay, you may have heard in the news or on other Disney vlogs that the popcorn bucket for Figment came out. People stood in line for 4 to 6 hours on the first weekend, and it was sold out within days. And when we got here the other day, it was still sold out. But we heard when we walked in today, we saw people with them. I said, where do you get those? I thought they were sold out. And they said, nope, they came back in today. I don't even like popcorn buckets all that much, but this one is really cute, and I got admittedly caught up in the hype. And so here it is. Say hello to Figment. Even Diane's sort of like, what? This is just too weird. We've got to share this. But clearly people are loving it. We're going to show the room where you picked it up. They changed the process so that thankfully it was just a matter of mobile ordering, going to pick up. It took us all of 5 minutes as opposed to 6 hours in line, which there's no way I would spend even 20 minutes in line for a popcorn bucket, no matter how much I was getting caught up in it. Orange and purple to match Figment. There are booths all over the World Showcase, and most of them we're not even going to bother eating at because you can't eat all the food. But everything at France looked incredible. This is a creme de brie in petit pain, so warm creamy brie in a bread bowl. This is a croissant. It's a black winter truffle croissant. I'm not going to try to speak French. And then this is a chilled lobster bisque mousse with a dill brioche. Looks incredible. Let's give them a try.
I'm going straight for the cheese.
You went straight for the cheese. Was it awesome?
Tilt it up a little bit.
I wanted to show the food. Let's try it up a little bit. Oh, that's great, except for I can't get any bread without spilling the cheese. Oh, wow. That's way more generous than it looked. I just made a mess.
This totally reminds me of Swiss fondue.
Yeah.
No, this is the real deal.
Wow.
Except for Swiss fondue is Gruyere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one I made at home, and then I bought a legacy one.
And this is brie.
Yeah. Probably a blend of different cheeses in fondue, but brie is more French.
Yeah, he's the only
Well, I think Gruyere is too.
Sounds French. Yeah, I could live on that. I could die on that, actually.
I didn't realize just one knife like I did earlier. Lobster bisque that has been chilled with some gelatin, made it into a mousse. Flavor's great.
Well, for now. Do you want to keep it? Oh, no, I give it. I'm worried about it.
Which is saying something because you don't like lobster.
I don't dislike lobster, but it's not my favorite of all the... I prefer crab over lobster. Good. The brioche is more drier. Brioche is usually a soft bread. That's a bit more crispy, flaky bread. Layered.
Almost
it's good.
to the point of cracker.
Yeah. Let's break this
You
open.
eat them together. You
Ooh.
bite them together.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's
What the heck?
soft cheese. It's a mushroom something in there.
Okay.
Wow. I did not expect that at all. Oh my.
If you make your own, like,
Stop the clock.
So that's like a really thick, highly elevated cream of mushroom soup inside of a croissant. And the flaky croissant is awesome. That is so good. That's a surprise.
The cream of mushroom soup is a completely simplified explanation of what this is.
Much more elevated.
This is very sophisticated.
Yeah. So good.
Cheesy, creamy, truffly. Has to be unhealthy.
Okay.
It tastes that good. Out of the three, what is your favorite?
Oh, I don't know. I was quickly going to say the brie and the cheese, which I'd like another bite of. Until I had that thing. And the crispy, creamy in there.
More.
What about you? I love brie, so.
Yeah, I think I'm brie.
Yeah, I don't know. This is awesome. And Diane said this earlier on one of the meals we had, where don't eat wasted calories, eat worthy calories. Eat food that brings emotion and pleasure and joy. You know, if you're going to eat something, make it taste really good, you know.
So that donut?
Don't eat that donut. Total. Oh, rats, we gave more video time to it. Don't eat that donut.
But that croissant and that brie?
Yeah.
And even the mousse.
Yeah, the mousse was great. But both of us are leaving that till last. Not because it's bad, but because these are so much better to us.
But this, I would lick the plate. I'm almost licking the plate.
Yeah.
Mix that bite with that bite. I think that's how it's intended.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the perfect cracker with the perfect dip.
Okay, you have to turn around and show the camera your back.
Oh my goodness. Somebody came by and stabbed me in the shoulder. How did that happen? Apparently that mixed berry drink flew out of the cup and over my shoulder. I literally didn't lift it up and spill it. I have no idea how it got on my back like that. You didn't see me lift it up, did you?
I think it was when you were messing with the
I was
Figment.
handing you the Figment because you were going to try to tie it on the back. So maybe my hand, I mean, obviously, how did it get up there? Wow. So weird. No cleaning that in the park. There isn't a big enough shout wipe for that. Okay, this past couple years at EPCOT, they've been putting together a new nighttime show. If you've been following it at all, you know that they've developed this structure system with lights and animated arms and fountains, and they project images onto the water as screens, and it's pretty technologically awesome and advanced. And initially, these barges were meant to be off the lake during the day and then brought out in the evening. But I guess they worked out that it would take too long to get them in place, and they'd have to open up a drawbridge to do that, cutting off the crowd's ability to wrap around the lake in the World Showcase. So when you walk in, you see these ugly monstrosities, and there's nothing pretty about them. They've got these television screens on them, and it has been a source of a lot of contention from followers who just love EPCOT. And I was like, well, I'm going to reserve the right, or reserve my judgment until I see the show and really see if it was worth it. But honestly, when we walked in and I saw this, it just ruins the lake on the initial thing. And the camera makes it look kind of further out. But really, when you're standing here in person, it's right there, and it fills the lake, and the lake is overwhelmed. Now, we did discover as you walk around, because the lake is sort of oblong rather than full circle. And when you're further away from the around the sides of it, it's not as bad and offensive. But this is the first view, so I just hate it. But again, I'm going to make my final judgment after the show to see if it's worth it, and I'm going to show you the show a little bit later this evening. I've been talking a good while, Diane. What do you think about it? Are you as bugged by it, or not a big deal?
I'm a purist, and I kind of go back to what would Walt think. And he was so careful about everything he did, keeping the storyline, keeping the sight lines correct. When he created Disneyland, he made sure that you could not see another land from the land you were in. They even have a tree that hides the Matterhorn. We call it the Matter Tree. It's just it goes against everything Walt would have agreed with. And that's where I struggle. That the way the sight lines and the being able to see the whole world across the lake, around the lake, I don't know. I wish that they had figured out another way to keep them off stage until at least nightfall, you know?
Right.
Because
they're just ugly.
And there was a lot of talk that they were going to be fountains during the day, and so it would be lovely fountains instead of... But they're just ugly barges. I mean, we saw the fountains being tested a moment ago, but that was on for maybe 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, they're not running and testing them during the day.
We've been here for 2 days and haven't seen
the television screen options, changing the logo every once in a while. That helps make it a little less bothersome, but still... Wherever you stand, you used to be able to see the World Showcase, and if you were over across the lake, you'd look back and see the ball, the big
EPCOT sphere.
EPCOT sphere, yeah. But now all you see is this, and that's just hideous. So that show better be worth it.
Very negative. You sound very negative.
I do sound negative. And because there's nothing positive about the look of this. So hopefully the show is going to be awesome so that it will take away some of the sting of the negative. But, during daylight hours, there's nothing attractive out here on the lake anymore. We are at the Pop Eats booth, and they serve tomato soup in a can. This is so fun. That's just a great presentation. And then it's a grilled cheese sandwich. This actually is an elevated grilled cheese with brie and bacon. How incredible is that? Everything's better with bacon. And then they serve an almond cake in classic art style. Very cool looking.
So they really nailed me with the cute factor. I wanted this to be so good. Like, I really thought this was going to be out of this world. This grilled cheese was underwhelming, not very flavorful. So then I dipped it in the soup, which added some flavors. But the soup is actually kind of closer to a marinara than tomato soup. I make a better tomato soup. It's super cute. It sounds really good. The cake looks super cute. Anyway. Wah, wah.
I ditto that wah wah that Diane had on it. The brie grilled cheese sandwich that I made for my ninja video, so much better. This was just sort of whatever. And the tomato soup, I don't know that I think of marinara, but it definitely was thick and sharp. I don't know, just didn't do it for me.
It's like
The
Prego in a
can, the can is super awesome though. The cute factor, you're right. It just was. And then that almond cake, it was beautiful in terms of art. You know, the Mondrian pattern, and but the texture. It's not cake. It's not soft cake. I thought it was going to be a soft sponge that was soaked in an almond syrup, and instead it is thick and dry and almost like marzipan, but not good like marzipan. It's drier, so I don't know. It's almost as hard as that donut was.
Don't talk about the donut anymore.
The donut. Here we go.
All around us, the world is alive with music. Wherever the world leads you next, we hope you carry a song with you. And know that the promise of someday begins inside of you today. Good night.
It just finished, and I have to say that was absolutely incredible. I understand why they felt the barges were needed and worth it. I still think they're hideous during the day, but that was an absolutely incredible show. I've heard some criticism about the show from some people who like the purest view of Epcot, and they think that somehow bringing in the Disney characters, the intellectual property, somehow destroys the intention of Epcot. I disagree entirely. I think that the cultural diversity of World Showcase, the various nations being brought out through the different characters that also represent those nations, and the music and the lights and the sound, I think that it's a beautiful addition to bring Epcot into the Disney family a lot more. Epcot always felt just a little, I don't even know the right words to use, but it's like, oh, it feels so foreign. And here it feels like it's a celebration of humanity and the various cultures, as opposed to feeling like it doesn't fit in and belong. And I think that's the Disney spirit right there, isn't it? So I loved it. And they shot fireworks up. I'm right at the water's edge, and I was next to, not realizing it, a cannon that shot off fireworks multiple times. It was incredible. And then unlike the castle, the fireworks, were so far away. but these are being shot right from the middle of the lake, and you can see them over your head. It just is an amazing show, and I hope you'll enjoy it on the video. But I have to tell you that you won't enjoy it as much as being here. And I frankly hope you can even hear a thing I've said because the music is so loud. But what an incredible, incredible show. Well worth the cold. Oh my goodness, it's cold. But this was good. This was really good. So today we did Magic Kingdom in the morning and EPCOT in the afternoon and evening. And we hopped. And so hope that you'll take advantage of hopping when you come here. Again, as we said earlier, the tickets are a lot more expensive and you do use a lot of time up. So
judge wisely on
wisely.
Whether you're going to hop and whether you can manage it. But if you're only here for a couple of days, it's a great way to be able to see all 4 parks.
And if you're experienced in the parks, you don't feel like an urgency to try everything, because you can't try everything if you're going to hop.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I just want a little you want the sampler platter of the parks, well, then it's great. But again, you pay for it. And so there.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going to go with that, but that's okay. Well, we hope that you enjoyed yourself and that you will subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And what do you do with the like button?
You thumbs up.
There you go. Give us a like. That would be awesome.
It really helps our channel.
It sure does. And go ahead and leave some comments. I really love comments.
What looked like the thing you wanted to taste the most?
Right. Or what ride or what experience did you appreciate, or let us know some of those things in the comments. I sure enjoy hearing from you, and that's a wonderful part of just putting the videos out there. Go ahead and watch other videos from our trip. The playlist is about ready to show up on the screen right now, so click one of those. That would be wonderful. Thank you. Be good to others.